7 Senses. The 3 Sacred Treasures Civilization Theory. Episode 2 Case Studies through the 3 Sacred Treasures. The Polyphony of Good. The true nature of the spreading sense of stagnation. Why is it that the harder people try, the less rewarded they seem to be? Why is it that people who are supposedly right end up in conflict with each other? Why is it that life keeps getting more convenient, yet living feels more difficult? What if this is not a personal problem, but a structural problem within civilization itself? If that were true, how would you begin to see this world differently? In this series, we explore civilization, consciousness, religion, AI, and human life as parts of the same underlying structure. This is the 3 Sacred Treasures Civilization Theory, the limit point of the current civilization OS. The conflict between good and evil. Are good and evil truly in conflict? When you look at society today, have you ever felt that evil is increasing? And yet, if you look more closely, what you actually hear everywhere are claims of rightness. From every direction, people insist they are right. Take politics, for example. Each side believes in its own justice and argues passionately for it. As a result, we reach a point where it becomes unclear what is truly right. And before we notice, everyone is right. Yet nowhere feels safe. The more rightness increases, the more suffocating the world feels. This condition is not the expansion of evil, but rather a condition where there is too much good. Today, we will organize this idea through 7 senses, the minimal theorem of the 3 Sacred Treasures Civilization Theory, the Jewel Tama, the hierarchy of human needs. 7 senses is the cognition that transforms multiple goods from conflict into alignment. A society of multiple goods. Let me begin with the conclusion. What is happening in society today is not the increase of evil. It is the simultaneous maximization of many forms of good, what we call multiple goods. Without understanding this structure, we cannot explain what is happening. All that remains is the feeling of being crushed by endless rightness. What is happening now? Modern society has entered a structure where rightness cannot be stopped. At the center of this is need level 6 reason re. Level 6 represents logic, optimization, persuasive power. These qualities have the ability to increase without limit. Logic does not grow through denial. It grows through expansion. And now, AI is accelerating this process to a decisive degree. AI can strengthen every form of good from every possible standpoint, simultaneously and endlessly. As a result, every form of good is amplified into a form that can win. Today, rightness itself has no built-in mechanism to stop a world surrounded by good. What we are seeing now is the simultaneous maximization of the good within. Each of the 6 levels of human needs: survival sei, order ritsu, belonging zoku, self-ka, justice gi, reason di. Every one of these is correct. If we look at politics, we see the same pattern. Military strength, law, alliances, sovereignty, ideals, rational strategies. All of these are valid arguments. The problem is not error. The problem is that each of these goods is asserted at maximum output at the same time. Each level amplifies itself, becomes fixed, and stops interacting with the others. So people feel no matter what they choose, something feels misaligned. No matter what they support, it feels like betraying something else. This is what we call a state where good exists in every direction. Concrete examples of the collision of good. Example, mother and daughter, multiple goods in the family. The mother says, "Don't do that, it's dangerous. Choose the safe path." Level survival safety. Level order structure. This is the good of protection. It is correct. The daughter says, "I want to decide for myself. I want to challenge myself." Level self-identity. This is the good of living one's own life. This is also correct. Level survival. Level order. Vias. Level self. Both are right. That is why they collide. Example, boss and employee multiple goods in an organization. The boss says, "Produce results." Failure is not acceptable. Level justice responsibility. Level reason optimization. This is the good of protecting the organization. The employee says, I want to try. I want to take on challenges. Level self-growth. Level justice. Level reason. Level self. This is a collision of goods. Example, political parties, multiple goods within a nation. Party A says, we must protect the system. Level order. Level justice. Party B says, we must reform the system. Level justice. Level reason. Level order. Level justice. Preservation. vs. Level justice. Level reason. Reform, even though both share. Level justice. Their directions differ. That is why the conflict never truly ends. Example, national leaders, multiple goods at the largest scale. Nation A says, we must protect our people. Level survival. Level justice. Nation B says, we must expand the economy. Level self. Level reason. Level survival. Level justice. vs. Level self. Level reason. At this scale, war can occur. Why does anxiety arise? Human beings naturally stabilize their world through a single guiding standard. But today, multiple standards exist at the same time, and we unconsciously mix them together when making decisions. As a result, none of them can be denied. All of them sound persuasive. All of them feel correct. Priorities collapse. Decisions never conclude. We no longer know what to trust. What emerges from this is an anxiety that cannot be explained. When thinking fails to produce answers, people quietly begin to exhaust themselves, and eventually, they are drawn toward simple and loud forms of righteousness, pulling entire people and organizations with them. This is not a lack of information. It is a lack of visible structure. The true nature of anxiety is not ignorance. It is the invisibility of structure, the absence of level 7 integration. What becomes necessary at this point is need level 7. Level 7 is not a place that decides what is good. It is the standard that arranges goods. Like the sun, it aligns the entire system. But today, this perspective is not functioning sufficiently. As a result, goods continue to collide in parallel. Level 6 keeps amplifying correctness. Without level 7, nothing concludes. This is the runaway state of level 6. Correctness, without a stopping mechanism, drives people into exhaustion. What happens in society? This anxiety appears in 3 major forms. Radicalization. People converge on simple justice and create enemies. Fix division. Instead of dialogue, people stabilize through opposing camps. Indifference. People become exhausted by constant righteousness and withdraw entirely. None of these outcomes are caused by the victory of evil. They are caused by the overflow of good, beyond what can be processed. People do not collapse because of mistakes. They collapse from exhaustion by correctness. The anxiety we feel today is not caused by evil. It is caused by having too many goods and not being able to arrange them. Too much correctness creates fear. And the real problem is this: we mistake goods from different phases as evil. When this happens, the world becomes simplified through conflict instead of understanding. Conflict is the shape of a good that was not understood. Why does another person's good become your evil? Why is it so difficult for people to understand each other? The other person is right, and yet you cannot accept them. Instead, their correctness appears to you as evil. You want to understand, but you reject them. When multiple forms of correctness are placed side by side, they begin to push each other away. Conclusion: the reason another person's good appears as evil is because good and evil depend on phase, the level of needs. Good and evil are not absolute. They reverse, depending on where you stand. We look at the same world, but judge from different layers. The difference is not what we see, but where we stand. Connection to civilization. And now, civilization continues to expand without stopping. Growth good, expansion justice, acceleration rationality. Under these assumptions, civilization keeps inflating like a balloon, and a balloon that keeps expanding will eventually burst. The distortions in today's society have already surfaced. We are now in a state of extending survival, releasing pressure just enough to avoid collapse, while still believing that expansion alone is correct. If expansion continues without stopping, what lies ahead if we cannot stop? Does any choice remain? Civilization now stands at a turning point. The real question is, have we noticed it yet?